Marketing today is driven by digital. And so the question is, and this is one thing that a lot of investors will ask you, and they'll ask you about what is your digital strategy. Essentially, it ties into go-to-market and how well prepared you are to do it. So today we'll talk about digital strategy and what it is. And what it revolves around basically is finding customers, getting customers, and growing customers. The thing is, looking at the evolution of computing, just the speed, bandwidth, the algorithms, and everything else. The implication of it all is that we have devices that are always accessible everywhere. Never before could you get 1 billion visitors in one place within a couple of hours, and we have unprecedented access to information. We can personalize and target people directly. So what do we do with all this information? Traditionally, volume was always about market share, that you put a product out there and say there's 100,000 people who go buy it. You don't know who they are. It's just like one big mass. And so it was always about getting a percentage of that big market. Today, because we can personalize, we're focusing more on getting more out of one customer. Since I know you better, that means I can upsell, downsell, cross-sell. The whole point is to squeeze as many dollars as I can out of you. So instead of 10% of 100,000, I'm taking that 10,000, and instead of getting, say, $1 out of them, I'm going to get $1.50. And so that's where I'm getting revenue. And so this slide 5, pretty much shows you the difference between traditional practices and predictive practices, what we do today regarding the digital age. And so what is digital marketing? Well, it starts with a consumer who interfaces with a portal. E-commerce is about electronic transactions taking place online. Internet marketing and mobile marketing are tied together, and all of that together makes up what we call today e-marketing. And all of that sits on a CRM, a customer relationship module. So what is the digital space? Well, the center of it all is the web. And the web connects to social media, connects to mobile. And how do we interpret all that data? More specifically, this is what the digital universe looks like. Everything still comes back to your website. And maybe you conduct business on it, maybe you don't. But the elements that comprise our age are influencer, search engine, affiliate. That means you market through somebody else. Content, email, mobile, ads, pay-per-click is still popular. And it can be expensive. But the point is, if somebody's willing to click on your ad, they express a lot of intent. And also social media. And in parallel with that, you have still offline promotions. Whether it's going to conferences, giving talks. I mean, people still want that richness, the human contact. And so, as we see, the web influence just keeps growing bigger. Actually, there's over 5,000 digital marketing companies. And here's an example, and you can just look at this, but everything you can imagine is out there for you. And so the mechanisms that drive all this is that we have our metrics and business goals. Those goals drive us to go out and get data and analyze it. And based on that data, we continually feed back. And in this age of data, it's about velocity, volume, and variety. Now, there's a fourth V that's playing into this, and that's veracity, meaning how truthful you are. How quickly can I get my data? How much of it? In different kinds of data, meaning I just don't want numbers. I also want mentions. I want to look at pictures, where we tagged. So that's what they mean by variety of data. The problem is that we have so much of it, we can't comprehend it all. It comes across as noise. And the thing is, we make decisions based on time and cognitive capacity and the information we have at hand. Can our minds handle it all? So what it comes down to is there's a lot of apathy. And the thing is, we've trained ourselves to fight against ads and to fight against promotion. Meaning, when you look at a web page, I don't even notice the ads on the side. You have blindness. You figure out ways to erase it. You think of your own tricks and everything else, and you just have apathy and you just shut down. So the crux of it all is that you want to build a market around your product. You want to move quickly and cheaply, and you want to build a sustainable business. So what digital strategy is about finding the customers, the best channels, filtering out the noise. You want to spend your time on good customers, not bad ones. The thing people severely underestimate is how much this actually costs. How do I get my responses? Who am I going to prioritize? And then how do I grow? And growing is about managing the churn, meaning I need new customers, I'm going to lose some are just going to sit on the sidelines. So how do I manage that whole process? And so my digital marketing strategy, the way I need to formulate it, is I need to figure out what objectives do I need at each stage. How am I going to overcome that apathy? What kind of mix do I want to use? In terms of data response, how I'm going to store and access it. And it's still about your hypothesis. What do you think you need to do? You test it, you validate it, and if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. In terms of the sales funnel, you've probably seen this lots of times before. It's either about outbound marketing or inbound marketing. For startups, typically you want inbound marketing. You want people who have intent to come find you instead of you going out to find them. Again, it depends on the nature of your product. If you have a mass market product, outbound is perfectly fine. Those little flyers at the end of your driveway. Now, the way you interact with the customer is called a touch point. And at every part of the sales funnel, you need to think about, how do I want to touch the customer? Do I want to do it digitally or do I want to do it physically? So in the sales funnel, the first step is awareness. Digitally, these are examples like email, e-events, ads, apps. Physical, it could be PR, traditional advertising. Then after I get awareness, I get consideration. And so what do I want to do? I want to drive people to my landing page on my website or direct mail or sales. In terms of purchasing, do I want to use a third party? Do I want to do it like through Amazon or something like that? Or do I want to do it? Or physically, should I have it sold through Walmart? Then how am I going to service this product? Whether they're going to do it themselves, I'm just going to have FAQs and they have to handle it, or am I going to do it through some other like call center or some other third party? Then how do I build up loyalty over time? Meaning, can I sell them more stuff? Are they going to tell other people about me? And so the journey that you pick of touch points, for example, from email, I use email to drive people to my website. For my website, I'm going to have e-commerce on them. I want to buy it from me. I don't want to share my profit with anyone else. In terms of supporting it, I'm going to have self-service. Basically, the website's going to tell them everything that they need to do. And from that self-service, how do I drive loyalty? I'm going to drive loyalty through email. Because it's from me and my company, they know me, so they're not going to treat me like spam. That's an example of managing your touch points through the funnel. In terms of metrics, what techniques do I want to use for a step? How much is it going to cost me? What experiments am I going to do? What's the output? And how well do I convert? How efficient I am? Because how efficient I am drives my cost. So in terms of finding customers, you get a lot of noise. It's easy to get a lot of names, but the question is, are they any good? It's a lot more expensive than you think it is. And how quickly can you get to cash? Look at Twitter. Twitter just recently broke even. How long has it taken them, even with 300 million users? How are ways that I find customers? We live in the age of content marketing, and that's that you give them something to get something back. And that something back might just be an email address you want from them. You want them to refer you to other people, because the point is you want a lot of eyeballs watching you. And then based on these people and all this data, you can figure out what individuals are interested in your product. You know who they are. And we'll wrap up the rest of this lecture in the next video.